What's up, Roulette Fools? Brent with AOB. Happy Friday, fellow DGens. Anyway, I've had a lot of requests to go back and show you the clever bets and go a little bit slower and go a little bit more in detail about how to use it and all the functions and features. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's get to it. So you go to their site, cleverbets.org. But before you do that, stop, get on our Discord. We have a discount coupon code. It's the best you'll find anywhere. We have a great partnership with Clever Bets. We get zero commissions. We get no benefit from them in terms of any kind of financial rewards. It's a partnership, meaning we get to tell them our feedback and what we would like in the tool, and we get prioritized in terms of those features, those strategies, and whatever in exchange for giving that feedback and basically testing it as it comes out. So that's what we get in return. That's it. Our members are loving this so far. So let's get to it. So you launch Clever Bets. After you go to our website, you put in the discount code, you buy it, you download it, you install it. It's pretty straightforward. Once you get there, you're going to choose the casino you're on. They have Coral. For those of you that are in the UK and looking to play on a casino, they just added Coral so that you can play it. Stake.com, Shuffle, and BC Gaming, and they'll be rolling out more and more. So the next thing we're going to do is choose the table. In this case, we're going to play the French table. Now, if you're not familiar, the French table is a single zero wheel with Le Partage, meaning if it hits zero, any of your outside 1-to-1 bets, black, red, even, odd, high or low, just those, you'll get 50% of the money you wager. Now, let me tell you, when I wager big, I go to the French table because I play 5 double streets. I'll put 3 units on high or low and then put 2 units on 2 double streets on the end. And I have hit zero before, and it has at least given me back 50% of the money I'm putting. So 50% of those 3 units that I put on high, I get 1.5 units back, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when then you double your bet to recovery is so much quicker, especially on a 5 double street. If you're going to play outside bets, black, red, and that's all you play, beautiful. You're going to do even better. So we're going to select a strategy. Now this tool comes in with built-in strategies here, all the way down to where you see the AOB plague stuff. The AOB strategies are the strategies that we have submitted to them and they had made. They're available for purchase on their website. When you purchase the tool, it's a one-time lifetime purchase. You get all updates. You get a certain number of built-in strategies, okay? And anything after that, you can go to their site and you can purchase additional strategies one at a time or as many as you want. And it's a one-time fee for those strategies for the lifetime. Additionally, if you want to have a custom strategy built on their website under the strategy section, you'll see request a quote and you put in all the details of your strategy and they'll give you a quote for how much it would cost for them to build that specific strategy for you. So if you don't see something you like, beautiful. You can see down here the strategies that we so far have that they've built for us is 10 street plague, which means it's going to play 10 streets and it's going to leave open the last 2 streets that hit. Okay. So it's going to leave it open in every single spin. It's going to leave the 2 streets open that are the last 2 streets to have hit. AOB Scouser, that's a 28 number system. It's a kind of a riff on 9 streets, but it's a little bit different, but it covers the 0. So for those of you that are 0 chasers, you might give Scouser a try. Mixie Mouse, that's a 20 number system. If you've seen anything, 5 double streets. This strategy, which we're going to show right now, encompasses several different strategies. So 5 double streets on this one covers normal 5 double streets where you would get to pick the 2 streets that you want to leave open. And it'll stay static, meaning those 2 streets, regardless of the results, those will always be left open. It doesn't rotate. It also gives you the choice of 5 double street slut and 5 double street plague. 5 double street slut means it starts by leaving the 1 and the 4 streets open, the first 2 streets open. Regardless of results, it's going to leave the next 2 streets open and rotate 2 streets down the line and then start over again. And the last one is AOB 5 double streets plague. That means it's going to leave the paired double streets open that last hit. So if you pair the the streets into 2 streets starting from left. So the 1 and 4 street, the next street, right? The 7 and 10 street, 13 and 16 street. Those are paired streets. It's going to leave whatever hit last. It's going to leave that paired street open. And then AOB corners, the corner streets is just a standard traditional spread corner system, a progressive corner system. In this case, I start with 4 corners being covered. If it loses, it's going to martingale those same 4 covers, those 4 corners. If it loses there, it's going to add a corner and double, then add a corner, and finally it'll have 6 corners, and from that point it just martingales until it recovers. Okay, for today we're going to do 5 double streets, and we are on the French table. So we're on the French table, and it's very important if you're on the French table and you're playing 5 double streets or a strategy, if you want to take advantage of the le partage, you must choose one that covers an outside bet, high or low, red or black, even or odd. So in this case, select the 5 double streets option. We're going to go with, let's play slut. So that's going to start with leaving the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 streets open, and then it's going to rotate around. Choose your setup. We don't want regular setup because that's going to place all your bets on the double streets and streets. We want to place bets on either the high or low plus 2 streets, so we take advantage of le partage. Progression on first loss. We're going to go ahead and we're going to just do 2x. This is just a normal martingale. However, if you want to be more aggressive, you can set it at a 3x. So it says on the first loss, you're going to multiply by 3x. See this little plus button over here? You can literally control every single progression multiplier. So it says, if we lose once, I want you to multiply it by 3 times. If we lose again, what are we going to do on the second one? Let's multiply it by 3 times again. I don't play this way, but we're going to do that. And if we lose again, you don't have to put anything if you want it just to go back, because anything beyond this that you don't add, anything beyond these instructions, it just does a normal 2x martingale, okay? So we don't even have to add anything there, but we'll put a 2 in there just in case. So it's going to bet 3x on the first loss. If we lose again before recovery, a 3x again. If we lose after that, it'll 2x it. Pause on each n progressions means if you lose a certain number of progressions, it's going to stop and take a timeout and just pause. We're going to say if it goes and loses past the 4th progression level, we're going to take a 3-minute pause. Now, because in case it does that, I don't want it to pause too long. We're going to only set it to 1, 2 minutes. That's really only 2 spins. I suggest you put it like 5 or 10 minutes if you believe in this sort of thing. I do. I like just taking a pause. Select the mode. Okay, this is really important. Conservative mode means that when it does a 3x on your first progression and you win, if the software senses that you don't need another 3x multiplier, you don't need to keep your bet that high just to break even, to recover, it's going to lower your bet down to whatever's needed just to recover. I like that because progressions are life, right? So I prefer to preserve my progressions and lower the bet when possible. If you don't like it, you want it to stay at that highest level bet until you get into profit, then you can choose aggressive. I like conservative. Some people like aggressive because you make more money, but you also risk more money. Select the base unit. For this purpose, we're going to go ahead and do $5 units. I can tell you right now, if you let this thing run, these tables sooner or later, you need to have enough progressions. I suggest highly to at least go to 12 progressions. I've seen this thing easily go to 8 progressions before, and you need, make sure you have the appropriate progressions. It's important that you put your actual balance down here, and I'll tell you why. Because when you put the appropriate balance down here, as you'll see, when this is done, the chips pop up, right? Now, I don't know if too many people know this, but if your balance is less than $2,000, then the types of chip they have are different. They will not have this $2,000 chip there. Therefore, your chips will be spaced differently, and the software needs to know where these chips are located, because all this system is doing, and I say all, what this system is doing is controlling your mouse. That's it. It does not require your username and password for your computer. It does not require your username and password to any of your casino accounts. nothing. It does not ask for a single thing. There's no actual login integration with this software, which is super great. It's literally controlling your mouse. So you have to make sure your balance is correct. Plus, it's going to use your original balance to determine how much profit or how much loss you have when you want to put in a profit goal and a stop loss in there. So our balance, we're just going to say 99.96, and our profit goal, let's just go with $50, and our loss tolerance, let's say $2,000. Okay. Now I highly suggest whatever your stop limit is, just vault everything, and just to be safe. Now this thing does a great job of stopping when it needs to, but just put in other words, if we want a stop limit of $2,000, I would vault all of this except for $2,000. That's the safe play. Okay. So please be careful with that. All right. So here it is. Once you're done, you can see live stats is checked here. We want live stats. That's the graph showing your profit or loss. Once you're done, you hit submit. It's going to say, do you want to know the probability of the loss? I don't want to know it, but you may. Let's go ahead and hit yes, just in case. So it's going to take a second, and it said, based on a $5 unit, the percentage of winning our goal of getting to $50 is 92.06 with a 2,000 loss. So it gives you a pretty good idea here. Do you still want to play? Yes. And then say, please go to full screen. That's this up here. You got to go to full screen here and make sure it's edge to edge. Now here's another little trick. If you are, or not trick, but tip, if you are on a laptop, there is a good possibility that because of your resolution, you will not get the display to go from edge to edge. If it does not, if you have a black band and if it's not completely edge to edge, the software won't work because of the placement of the chips will be off and it won't know where to go. So make sure if it doesn't go edge to edge, go into your display settings. Number one, oftentimes laptops and screens are set at usually like 150 to 200x, and it'll say recommended, set it at 100. Then play with your resolutions. Like this is 1920 by 1080 or something. Maybe lower your resolution a little bit until you achieve a full screen. Once you got there, okay, hands off. I'm not going to do anything. It's going to adjust it to make sure the video doesn't change, because you have to be on this view. Okay, you have to be on this view. The other, see this little camera up here? This is a switch view where you see the key, the table is bigger. It will not work in that view. So make sure you have it on this view to begin with. It will keep it on that view from then on out. All right, so let's go. Now it hits. Now it has a chance to put the bets in. There we go. So on this French table, Manqué is low, 1 to 18. Passe is high, 19 through 26. And you see on the far right over there, this P12, M12, D12, the 12 stands for dozen. So PMD, this is your first dozen, second dozen, third dozen. And then these empty boxes over here, this is normal. This is your first column, second column, third column, if you ever want to play and place these bets. All right, so we won. And what it's going to do is now it's going to leave the 7 and the 10 streets open because we're playing 5 double street slut. So it's literally just moving down the line. Okay. Now something else you should know, your left caps lock button is a hot stop key. So if you want to stop this thing at any time, you hit the caps lock. Obviously, whatever bet's up there, you can't pull it off, but you hit the caps lock, that'll stop the software from doing the next round. So just be aware of it. You can also come up here and minimize the screen, exit from full screen. And if you do that, that'll stop the software from going again. Okay, we lost. So it's going to move over and it's going to 3x our bet. So now those should be $15 each. Here we go. Now, what's it going to do if we win? If you're familiar with 5 double streets, it takes 5 wins at a flat rate to equal 1 loss. In this case, we're 3xing. So that gets us 3 of our wins to make up that 1 loss. Because we're in conservative mode, the software is going to go, hey, we don't need to do a full 3x bet again to get into recovery. We're going to do a 2x bet. So you're going to see it's going to automatically lower bet down to $10, which are 2 units for those double streets that we're hitting. Now we're leaving 19 and 22 streets open, and you can see it brought the bet down. Okay. So let's recover and go take a look at a couple of the other strategies. Support is fantastic. So if you have any questions, you can get on their site, send a support ticket. Even better yet, get onto our Discord if you're not there. Obviously, you'll be there because if you're playing this game, it means you were smart enough to get onto our website and get the discount coupon code, right? So once you're there, you'll see you have to make sure that you verify yourself when you get to our Discord. If you just join our Discord and you don't do anything, you won't see the folders. You have to verify your ID of who you are. And we do that because we've had issues with people creating multiple accounts and come in and troll, unfortunately. So you will have to verify. Once you verify your account, you will see all the available channels. And in there is a Clever Bet support channel. So you can go in there, and before you create a new support ticket in the Clever Bet channel, please take a brief moment to read through what's already there, because chances are the question that you have or the issue that you have has already been asked and answered. So take a second to go through there and look before you post something else, okay? All right, so we're going to get through. I call this the gauntlet, getting all the way through. So once we get through, if we win this, I'm going to hit caps lock. We're going to pause it and we're going to launch a different strategy so you can see a different strategy in action. All right, here we go. I let this run this morning with a $1 bet. 3x on the first loss and then 2x on subsequent losses. And I made probably 65 bucks I let it run for maybe an hour and a half. All right, we're going to hit caps lock. So it's going to stop what it's doing and you see it went away. So I'm going to launch Clever Bets again. And it first launches with this kind of command DOS looking screen, and it's checking access and doing all the back end stuff. Once it's done, it's going to pull up. You do not have to worry about this. Don't close it. You don't even have to touch it if you don't want to, but you can minimize it, but don't close it. Okay, we're going to still stay on the French roulette gold table. Our strategy, let's go play Mixie Mouse. Now, when you purchase the Mixie Mouse strategy, you get all of these different variations of Mixie Mouse included in it. So 1A means we're going to play the first and second column. That's it. 1B means our bets will be on the second and the third column. That's it. This is follow the winner, means if you're betting on the first and second columns and it hits third column, the next bet, it's going to move up to the second and third column. So it's going to follow the winner. And then be careful with these, the Brad 1A, 1B, and Brad follow the winner. I highly suggest you get on our Discord and go into the Clever Bets and kind of get an idea of what that is, because basically the only difference between these and the ones that say Brad is Brad has a much more aggressive progression, and it wins no matter what, no matter how many progressions. One win will always get you back. The downside is that the progressions get very expensive. So you're going to want to make sure you know what you're doing before you select that one. Let's go with follow the winner. And we're going to say, if it goes past 7 progressions, we're going to pause for 3 minutes. And the reason why I do 7 progressions on this one, unlike 5 double streets where I like the 4th progression it pauses, because the first, 2, second, and third progressions, those are just adding a few extra units to it. It's not terrible. And then after that, it just martingales the existing bet. And so by the time you go at 7, let's leave it at 7. Select the mode. I always choose conservative. The base unit, we're going to go with 50 cents on this one. My exact balance is 99.84. You notice my balance is fluctuating because it's in shuffle coin. So it's in a cryptocurrency and it's kind of going up and down. I highly suggest you play in USDC or USDT. They're based on the US dollar. They're very stable and they don't cost you anything to buy. Excuse me. Our profit goal, let's just say 50, and our loss tolerance, let's say, is 3,500. All right, we're gonna hit it going. We don't want to know that. Well, let's check out the probability. Let's see what the computer says. We have a 94.71 chance of achieving our goal. Do we still want to play? Yep. And we're in full screen. I'm gonna hit OK. I'm gonna hands off now. It's already in the spin, and I don't think you guys can hear this. But it knows we're about to play, and it'll tell us, sometimes it'll say, we're waiting for the next spin. Okay, here we go. So we're playing Mixie Mouse, follow the winner. And what it's doing is it's placing the first 20 numbers. Now, when I play it manually, it's putting 50 cents on each of these numbers, 5, 6, 8, 9, all the way to 32 and 33. To save time, the system is simply putting 4 units on the corner, which is exactly the same thing. The reason why initially I built Mixie Mouse covering these 20 numbers instead of corners is because on the second progression, we add 1 unit to 5 corners here. And I like visually looking at it and knowing which progression I'm at just by looking at the layout. All right, there's a 28. That's a loss. So it's going to come down and it's going to now bet on the first and second columns. Didn't we put follow the winner? I could have sworn we put follow the winner. We are on follow the winner. All right, so we keep going, and now it hit there. We actually won on the first one. I thought it was hit 28, but it's 20. So now it's going to follow the winner and come all the way down to first and second, and it's going to add 1 unit to 5 of the corners, which are these 5 non-overlapping corners. So you can see we went from $2 a unit, $2 a corner to $2.50. So we've only added 5 extra units on the second progression, and 1 hit on any of those 20 numbers will get us back into recovery in 1 hit. Oh, but that's not a hit. It hit 12. So now it's going to add 4 more units to the corners in between those corners. And it's going to jump up to second and third. There we go. Working exactly like designed. So now at this level, we're going to need to win 1 and then win a second one at this level. Now on Brad's, his progressions go much harder. So 1 hit at this level would always get you into profit. I much rather preserve my progressions, but I see it. All right, there we go. 9, that's a good hit. And that should get us almost there, right? I think. Okay, so we're going to need a second hit, and it's already going to calculate whether or not it should bring the bets down. So that's what's really great about this is you don't have to sit here and do math. So to me, the best way to play this is, yes, you can set it and forget it and walk away. I do it plenty. Like today, I set it and I walked away. I went and got my workout in. I did some other chores around the house. I came back. But that was because I was okay and willing to lose the balance that I had left in my playable balance for this, and I set the stop loss. If you want to bet a little bit more aggressively, just sit here and watch it. And the nice thing about sitting here and watching it is you can let it go and then hit the caps lock at any time you want to stop it, but you don't have to keep track of your progressions. You don't have to keep track of where you're at. Look at that. We're in profit. All right, here we go. So we start all over again, and we're just going to do a couple rounds of these, and then I'm going to go show you 1 or 2 other strats, and then we're going to call it quits. If you have any questions, get into our Discord and ask, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. But we have a whole channel dedicated strictly to clever bets. So get in there and take a look and see. I mean, you can bet. We're adding more features to allow 1 cent bets. Also allowing other currencies such as what is it? ANR, ANS, ASR, which means you can convert your currency in here without doing anything, and it'll let you place very, very low bets, penny bets, less than penny bets because of the currency difference. So that's good for people that just want to bet really, really low and let it run for a long, long time and give it a try that way and see how it plays out. So a lot of new features coming online for us with this tool. It's amazing. If you followed me since day one or from the beginning, you know that I am hard on anybody claiming that they have a good tool, because most of those tools are tracker tools that they say will predict the next outcome. I don't believe in those. And if you do like those, we have those 100% free on our website. So get in there and check those out. SoCal built us some really nice Excel tools that you can enter in the number. It tells you which corners, splits, dozens, columns, double streets, single streets, etc., red, black, have hit the least, I've hit the most, which ones you should bet on next. If you are into that type of thing, we have those 100% free. We don't charge a thing. This tool is a whole different animal. This is actually literally betting for you. Okay. So you set it and forget it, and you can walk away. But this is kind of nice. If you do want to gamble, you can be here, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, I'm really hungry. I want another cup of coffee. I need to use the bathroom. Guess what? You don't have to stop. You just get up and go. And you come back and it's right where you left it off at. All right. Well, we're going to wait till this guy is done cleaning the wheels. Sometimes I'm going to put you on pause and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and I wanted you to see this. This is what happens. I was hitting the unpause button on the recording software. This is what happens when you mess with the mouse while it's trying to do its thing. You can look at it. I have totally screwed this thing up there. It would be nice if we hit a 30. That would give us a real banger of a hit right there. The chances are pretty low. It's going to hit a 5. It's a win, but is it a win? I don't know. Yeah, I suppose it is. Same number of bets. So that's why you want to leave your hands off of the mouse while it's doing its thing. Now, after it's done its thing, you can grab the mouse. Just be very, very careful when you grab the mouse. You can go do other things. But when it gets close to replacing the bets, you don't want to touch it because it's going to screw up where it's putting the bets on at. All right, let's see if we can't get one more win here, and then we'll go test out one more strategy. I think this tool is fantastic for people that have, disabilities, difficulty in doing this or doing that. All right, we're going to let it play out until we recover. So it's going to do the second progression. Let's see how we go. It's fantastic with people with Parkinson's disease or any kind of, physical disabilities, even mental, cognitive disabilities that want to gamble. They have the aptitude to gamble, but there's a physical or some sort of challenge that prohibits them from doing so. This is an amazing tool to allow all of us and those folks to do it. And if you have a busy or if you have a tendency to become a degenerate, this tool is great because it stays on track and does what it's supposed to be. So the downside is, and I'm just warning you, is if your internet is a little bit spotty, like mine is right now, for some reason today, my internet has been a bit spotty. It can break the connection and it could screw up your bets. That's why this is best left if you're watching it for the most part. If you're going to leave it for a long period of time, make sure you put in an ultra low bet so that you can recover with problems. I don't know what happened here. Please contact customer support for assistance. Something went wonky. I don't know. Then he picked up the bet. It was like a misspin or something because it's still on the 3. So it just pulled up that bet. They didn't bet, which is good because it hit a 0. So let's see if the software picks back up again. I've never had something like this happen, but looks like it is. Okay, so good. It's going to our second bet. It sort of saw that as a loss because after it placed the bet, remember the software is just using your mouse. It doesn't know that the software pulled the bet from us just now. This is a very rare thing, but it's still good to see. Now, I don't mind so much because it's showing us in a loss when we actually didn't lose. So this is going to give us some extra money when we recover, but it is something to be aware of. Nothing is 100% bulletproof. All right, here we go. So see, that's a good win for us, even though we didn't lose. All right, and it's going to play it again. It feels like we're on the third progression, which we would need to do twice, which is fine. So yeah, make sure you have solid internet. Sometimes also these tables go under maintenance. So if you decide to let this run all night long, just understand that sometimes they take these tables offline. And the biggest risk there is, let's say you're down 3 or 4 progressions and then they take the table offline, you're not going to have a chance to recover. Okay, so just be aware there are things outside of the tool's control that cannot be helped. All right, let's see if we can recover this. Now, something to note on follow the winner. Let's say it hits a 1 or a 34, which are losses, it's not going to pull the bet down to the first and second columns on that follow the winner because it didn't detect a loss from those columns. So it's going to stay right where it's at. All right, let's go. Let's see if we can get some wins in a row. Well, that's good. That's a good hit right there. Let me know in the comments, or better yet, even get into Discord and let us know what you think about this tool. And if you see that there are some opportunities for improvements in areas or some sort of features that you would like to see, some of the strats that will be coming out will be ones that are on the product delivery roadmap that we've requested, is that if you select a strategy, you'll have the option to say, wait until this particular strategy would have lost 4 times in a row. All right, we're going to hit caps lock. And we're going to bail on this one so that I know that there's plenty of people out there that like to go, here's what I'm playing, but I don't like to play until after it has lost 3 times in a row. So for example, if you were playing 2 dozens, right? Some people don't want to play until this first dozen has hit 3 times in a row. Then they want to go in. That's going to be coming next, where you can say, wait for a certain number of spins, a certain number of losses, and then go in so that you can stack those progressions under you. I'm also asking them to add a feature where no matter what, win or lose, you can set it to say only bet once every 3 minutes, once every 5 minutes, to try to avoid these long losing streaks. Maybe we can do it where it's as long as you're winning, but as soon as you lose, you're going to wait 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes or something. But we already have that in terms of the pause at a certain progression. But I think it would be great if we could have it where you say, I only want it to bet every 3 minutes and no matter the results. Okay, we're going to launch this one last time. And let me know if I've skipped over something or you don't fully understand, and I'll try to address that in another video when I show you some of these other, as we get more. Because what we're waiting for now is the next strategy to be coming out that they're working on is my favorites. Well, 5 double streets also my favorite, but 9 streets. So it'll have traditional 9 streets, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, reverse, which means those are the streets within each dozen. You'll pick 3 streets in each dozen, or centipede 1, centipede 2, centipede 3, or centipede 4. Centipede 3 is my favorite. That starts on the 3rd street and does 9 consecutive streets in the middle. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to select a strategy again. Let's go. I'll show you the spreading corners here. So we're going to pause on, if we lose, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to pause if it goes past 6 progressions, and we're going to pause for 3 minutes. Select the mode conservative, select the base unit. We're going to go with $1 base unit, and our exact balance 10,058. 10,058. And our profit goal is $50, and our loss tolerance is $2,000. Okay, so these are the options under the corners. Again, this starts with 4 corners and start spreading. We're going to hit submit. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what the thing is. I normally just say no because I play anyway. All right, we had 93.51% chance of succeeding. We do want to play. Okay, there it is. And what's this going to do is it's going to randomly choose every single time.
Good luck, clever bets.
Did you hear that?
I'm waiting for the next round. Good luck from Clever Bets.
Okay, you should have heard it that time I enabled desktop audio. So it's letting us know, hey, I'm not just sitting here doing nothing. I'm waiting for the next round. This is going to randomly choose any 4 non-overlapping corners. And it's going to, every time it resets and wins, it's going to do that again. Now, keep in mind, the randomness of these corners are restricted as long as they wouldn't impede being able to put 6 non-overlapping corners together. In other words, it would never put a corner, let's say like, it wouldn't put this 5-9 corner. Because if you put a 5-9 corner, you wouldn't be able to put a corner here at all. And it would prevent you from having 6 non-overlapping corners. All right, so we lost. So it's going to repeat those corners and it's going to martingale. So So it went from 1 bet to 2 bets, 2 units. If it loses this one, it's going to add a 5th corner and it's going to put 4 units on all 5 corners. If it loses that one, it's going to put a 6th corner and it's going to put 8 units on all 6 corners. At that point, it's just going to martingale those 6 corners until you recover. I believe it's 2 hits at that point. All right, there's a win. Hits 23. So now it's going to go all the way back and choose 4 random corners. There it is. Now, anytime you win before you get to the 6th corner, so the first progression, second progression, third progression, those will all get you into profit. On the 4th progression, I think the 4th progression, when you get to 6 corners and you martingale, I think that one gets you into profit. But beyond that one, if you lose that 4th progression, you have to win twice after martingaling it in order to recover. And I don't recall if it brings the bet back down or not. All right, so there's a loss. I personally find this better than playing where you start with 1 corner or 2 corners. That's just me. I have done some testing many times on it, and each time I have found that starting with 4 corners gives me the best results, but you do you. And if you don't like that it starts with 4 corners, you can always submit a strategy to them and say, hey, I'd rather have it behave this way. I'd rather start with 1 corner, and instead of, for example, on this one, you don't actually have to martingale after you lose the first 4 corners when you repeat it. You could literally repeat those first 4 corners. So this is slightly more aggressive than what it needs to be, but you get a nicer profit off of it when you do win. I think you guys get the idea here. Now it's going to choose 4 random corners again. Boom. Bingo, bango, bongo. All right, we'll give it one more win and then we'll call it quits. And I'll do a video based on the feedback I get of what you guys want to see on this tool. I'll give you guys a updated video on that maybe next week, but I'll do these periodically and we'll go through a lot of these different strategies so you could see these strategies in action. And of course, as I get new strategies in from Clever Bets, I would certainly demonstrate it. I'm excited for 9 Streets, and I'm actually also trying to see if what they'll do is do a strategy where it's a conglomeration of multiple strategies, right? So if you've seen my Twister strategy, that's where we start off with a high coverage system and slowly go down so that we're doing nothing but playing with house money. I would like to see them put that strategy in here. Also would like to see where you could go through the existing strategies that you have in your, that you've purchased or that comes with the software and say, I just want to rotate through these. So if I go to a strategy and it loses, you know, either we play it like to a certain profit and then switch strategies, or if it gets X number of losses, we go. Okay, we won. I'm going to stop it there. Look at that. How much should we make? It didn't show us our profit there, but we won because I closed the graph too early. So that's it. Again, fantastic tool. This is amazing. And it takes a lot of your mental fatigue off if you're going to sit here and play all day. Excuse me. It takes a lot of that mental fatigue of having to sit here and make sure you're not missing a bet and you're paying attention and you're doing the progressions correctly, especially if you're using Fibonacci. It can be a pain remembering those progressions. If you have a non-conventional custom progression system, then certainly submit that as a custom strategy. They can build it for you, and then you don't have to keep track of this big custom progression system that you have going, oh, on the first loss, you go 2x, then you go 3x, then you go 1x, then you go 5, whatever that may be. You get the point. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys have a great Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. For those of you in the fires down in California, I hope my thoughts are with you. I hope that you all stay safe. For those of you in the rest of the country where you're experiencing severe winter temperatures and outages, again, my thoughts are with you as well as they are. I know there's other winter stuff going on around the world and other even bigger things going on in some parts of the world with people living in despair and such. So thoughts are going out to all of you. I'm excited to do our next charity situation coming up in February. We did it in January. We made $600. I'm hoping to make even more in February. that's it. Be good humans. It's not that hard. And it's us against the casino always. So share and share alike. All right. It should be open source because we need all of us to take the casinos down. All right. Cheers.